Hi, it is the human operating system time again. So I have received a few messages in the past few days, and so I grouped the questions, and today I like to share with you on the following. Basically, many of our friends is asking me, why is their meditation practice doesn't work or doesn't give result? Okay, why is that other people talk about meditation can be this, it can be that, but they do it, they put the time into it, but they still cannot get result? There's one group of questions which I have received. Another question is, can I explain why the 4-layer models is proper for practicing the meditations? Another question is asking me when I say that mindfulness is not completely defined as what we see in general today, or in general, why is mindfulness is not a complete descriptions, as what I've mentioned a few times. And another question is about how to develop calmness. So today I like to share with you all of this and how I look at it. And actually all of this is linked to one thing, which is the first questions our friend always asks me. Why is my meditation doesn't work? Why I don't get the result? Okay, so we need to know one thing. In order for meditation practice to work, one need to develop the skill. Okay, one need to develop the skill, meaning one need to have a clear and accurate process steps, know what to do or how to handle each steps, and know what type of intensity one need to handle at each step. And then one need to put time on it and develop the skill. That is how meditation will work. Disregard of any type of meditation, if it is a legit type of meditations. Now, meditation will not work if one mimic. Okay? Say for example, if I go meet my teacher, the Zen patriarch, okay? If I go there, just wear the clothes like he wear, and then I sit like he sit, I'm not going to develop the skill. I can, like in the movie, act like him. There's no way one can develop the skill. So you cannot mimic, you cannot just watch a video or listen to a guided meditations and really handle meditations. In a really accurate and professional description, those listen to the guided meditations, feel relaxed, those are not real meditations. Those are entertainment in a professional way. In China, there's a history in the history story. Okay, there's a story in the history of the Chinese in terms of this practice meditation and so forth. That is a difference between practice meditations to develop the skill and be able to handle the human potential than listen to somebody singing a song so that one forget about one's stress or worry at that time, or feel relaxed at that time. So listen to a song to relax oneself or distress or distract one's mind. That is not meditation. That is entertainment per the Chinese definitions. Okay, so one need to be really careful on this. Okay, and so there's no way you can just listen to some guided meditation, sit down there and then just follow whatever the guided meditation do, think about this, aware about that, and then you can get somewhere. Those can relax, like listen to a lullaby, one can go sleep. Listen to a good song, a solo, one can calm down. But that is not meditations, per the Chinese definitions. Okay. In fact, there is a story in Zen Buddhism, which is, I think everybody heard about this. So there's one monk who is meditate in the Buddha's hall within the temple. Just meditate there. And then there's another enlightenment monk come in, take a brick, polish the bricks there. Day in, day out, polish the bricks there. And then the monk in meditations asked the monk who polished the bricks and said, "What are you doing?" And then the monk who polished the bricks tell him that, "I am trying to make a mirror. I want to make a mirror." And then the monk who meditate asked the monk who polished the brick, say, "Are you kidding? You polish a brick, try to make a mirror?" Then the monk polished the brick, tell the monk who is in the sitting meditation, say, "Do you think you'll be able to become Buddha just doing that?" So it is about skill, and one need to know it. Just face it. When the Buddha said it have 84,000 Dharma, okay, 84,000 Dharma, it means it have a lot of technology there, and every technology is really precise. If you go read Srangama Sutta or you go read Yoga Charabhumi, you can see everything is in details. Okay, so be it Zen or no Zen or any teaching of the Buddha, it is, you need to develop that. Okay, it's not just, wow, I am enlightenment, you are enlightenment, both enlightenment. It's not that kind of stuff. So let's go start. So why is this? Why is this is the truth? There's 4-layer models with the 4 core components or 4 elements. Okay, 4 core elements of 4-layer models. This is the model human being. The physical, the mind, the breathing, the energy neural. Why is this? Why is this the truth? Why is, if people violating this on the sequence and do not know there's 4 layers, then the practice will not be stable and not repeatable. Why? So let me tell you why. From three angles, from human as a human. The second is the ancient Chinese for 1,000 years, what they found out. The third is today's science. Okay, how is this converged? That's why that 4-layer is a truth. Okay, now just look at it as a just common human being, you and me. Okay, you and me. This is the physical, this is the mind, this is the breathing, this is the energy neuron, okay, or energy nervous system. Now let us honestly ask ourselves, physical, mind, breathing, energy neuron, which one are we human beings, you and me, familiar the most? Is that the mind, the breathing, the energy neuron? Well, it is not. It is this physical, right? The second, on mind. One can talk about all kinds of philosophical stuff, consciousness and non-dual, all kinds of stuff. But if you look around like us, have we really trained in how to evoke different functions of our mind, such as this: thinking, imaginations, attentions, awareness? Have we trained to clearly know how to evoke each of that basic function? Not to mention how to handle the intensity of the function. Okay, so there's a question mark here. Okay, the third one, the breathing. How many of us know the different state of within the breathing, the state within the breathing? For example, panting state. Okay, and when the breathing is really very smooth and very fine, and within the breathing, inhale and exhale, there is pulse. So inhale, okay, there's a pulse, there's exhale, there's a pulse. How many of us have handle on that? How many of us even know that? And how many of us be able to naturally handle this? So that's breathing. The last is energy neuron. Well, how do we handle our parasympathetic system and sympathetic system? Okay. So how do we handle that? How do we handle our this sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system? Have we trained as a human beings be able to handle this? Well, obviously we don't. So as we can see here, what the most we familiar is the physical. And the mind, we know something, breathing, the neural systems. Okay, there's ordinary human being like us, you and me. So that is the sequence. Physical, you know the most. Mind, you know a little bit more. Breathing, maybe. Energy neural. What are we talking about? Okay, so that's why that is how the layer, the 4-layer is there. Okay, it's modeled that way. and with the sequence here. Okay, you see that there's a sequence here from physical, get deeper or get more subtle. Now, let's look at another thing. Let's look at the Chinese for 1,000 years, or at least 1,500 years. Yes, very clearly, 1,500 years. This is physical, this is mind, this is breathing, this is neural energy, or they call it Qi. Okay? Now, we know today, for past 1,500 years, in order to make those Qigong, whatever one want to call it, healing art or meditations or internal art, in order to make that work, this is how it is. They make it work, and they will not tell you usually, because this is you will learn this only within the inner circle, okay? And also many people don't really seriously study in it, so one not be able to know what it is. Okay, now the first thing, if one going to learn Qigong or meditations according to ancient Chinese, the first thing, the physical has to be loose. Meaning untied, okay? Untie up, unwrap, loose. This is called external loose. External loose. That's the first thing need to be done. That's why you see all those people practice this Tai Chi Chuan and so forth. You have to lose their body, lose their body. That's what it is. And the second level of practice has to be loose of the mind or the mental. This is called internal loose. Meaning that at that state, they know, say when they pay attention, how strong that attention has to be. Okay? How strong the attention has to be. For example, it's very simple. When people say that when they practice some kinds of meditations or Qigong, whatever, their body get hit, feel the hot feeling. Is that difficult to generate that? No. One of the way to generate that is, one of the components in order to generate that is that if the mind, the intensity of the mind is high, attention is high, okay, and then combined with a state of the breathing, that hit will physiological feeling, sensation of heat will surface. The mind with high intensity is called fire. The breathing is called wind. So you want to have fire, really strong fire, and then you keeping blow it with the wind, and then you get the whole fire, the whole heat to heat up. Okay. So the analogy is like you have in the kitchen, you have some wood and some fire there, and then you're just pumping air inside there to make the fire become bigger and bigger. Temperature rise. Those what it is. So you need to know the internal looseness or the mind handling. For example, very simple, the intensity. If you don't know that, you don't know for example, driving a car. If you don't know about the neutral gear, then there's no way you can drive, get the transmission to the forward driving or backward or going backward. Okay, so the Chinese need to know that, need to train for that. Okay? Now, why you want to do this? First, you want to be able to get into the state sequentially, step by step, systematically, process by process step, so you can handle and be able to repeat the experience or the outcome. So that's it. Only after that, one get into the breathing training. Okay. Why do you need that that mind layer training before the breathing training? Because if your mind, you do not know which function to use, then your breathing is not going to be able to stable down and handle. So for example, if you are in the rush time and you try to do a counting breath, how are you going to count the breath when your mind is full of rush? Oh, 5 o'clock, I need to see my wife, I have to pick up my kid, or I have to do this and do that. How are you going to count your breath? You say, well, don't worry about that. No, I stop thinking. I'm going to count my breath. Forget about it. You can't do it. If you do that, you get problem. You become an inner war inside there. So the Chinese know. They have to stable this and then go inside here, the breathing. And of course, at first they want to lose their body. If their body is in pain and is in a war fighting, they try to hold the body. The entire thing collapse. Okay. So in the breathing, remember we talked about just now the state, different state of the breathing. Then the breathing training need to get one into a really small state. Okay, and then you have with handling the pulse of the breathing and so forth naturally. Now this is not like count 5, inhale, count 5, stop breathing, count 5, exhale, count 5. It's not this kind of stuff. Okay, you have to train it. And then this is important. Okay, again, this is important for the breathing, is because when the mind and the breathing, they synchronize together, the pulse of the breathing and the awareness of the mind, which is not strong in intensity, they synchronize together. That is where they enter into samadhi. Okay, that is what it is. Okay, and only with the breathing, remember the pulse and the breathing, the state of breathing, one can handle the energy neural. In today's, your the energy neural layer or component, we look at it like what? Like the automatic nervous system. You know, the sympathetic and this parasympathetic neural system. Okay, so you want to control that, or you want to manage it. Control is a bad word. Manage word. To manage, there's the fourth layer with the breathing. If your breathing is not handled properly, because your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system is linked to the inhale exhale phase. Okay, and then you want to handle the pulse of the breathing. Okay, so the Chinese been doing that. This is the process. Any magic? There's no magic. But if one have no idea what it is, forget about it. You cannot guess. Okay, because this is layer and layers and details in each layer. Okay. So when people say, well, they practice Qigong, meaning that they practice handling this neural energy layer, just look at what they can handle here, how much they can handle here. You can know whether they are real or they are not. On another way, if one is very clear from that, one can practically go to any research lab, say, well, put a probe on my body. What do you want to see? Because they have handled it, they can manage it. If one do not have this, how the world, the scientists do anything? It's like, how is the scientist going to get a result for you when you don't even know what you are doing? Okay? How the scientists know? So sometimes when we read a scientific report, where you can clearly see the guy who do that, who proposed or who designed that procedure for the research, doesn't even understand this. So how is the data come out from the scientist is research lab is valid? Questions, okay? Sure, people might not like this, but it's like we in Silicon Valley doing a chip design. You have one single line out of that thousands of trays in your layout of the metal wrong, the entire thing collapsed. Okay, and it costs millions of dollars. So unless one get into this, don't call it scientific, don't call it the meditations in terms of the ancient Chinese term, okay, with that reference, okay? Now, so that is the second thing on this, we look at in the Chinese way for past 1,500 years. The third thing is today's scientific way. Physical thing, okay, physical muscle tension is almost a reflection of the stress. If you stress, right away your muscle tension can reflect it. Okay, that's the stress, this physical layer. The second, this is mind or brain. Okay, you know that when you get stressed, your stress hormone cortisol is going to influence the brain. Okay, now for breathing, also stress can make breathing harder. Stress can make breathing harder. So people who have lungs problem or asthma, stress can make it breathing harder. Okay, and then on top of this energy neural here, the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous systems, and then you have the cardiovascular, and then you have your endocrine, or up here. Okay, so for example, you have a stress here, is going to go this way. Okay, everything influenced it. Now again, if you have a stress, which thing is easier for one to deal with? Physical or your mind, which is now you have to deal with the stress hormone and so forth. And breathing, that stress cause breathing to be harder. And then are you going to handle your sympathetic and parasympathetic system by handling your breathing and careless on whatever happened here? It's like people who say, oh yeah, when you get stressed, you just go count your breathing. Are you kidding? Because scientifically, we know that stress is going to cause you your breathing difficult. Okay. So stress is called you to breathe harder. So the guy who have asthma and think I'm going to go suffocate or what? Okay. So again, if you don't deal with physical, okay, relax your body now as much as possible, and then so that your stress hormone going down, then you can deal with your mind, your brain, and then after that you can deal with your breathing, okay, because it's not so stressed now, and then only after you can deal with breathing, you deal with all this cardio and so forth. How are we going to do it? Like today, you jump into the, no, in general, today you jump into the mind. Oh yeah, I visualize this and visualize this. We don't even know what is the intensity you're going to use. Or you're going to jump into counting your breath. Pay attention to your breathing. Well, you pay attention to your breathing, you're stuck here. Okay? And now, the thing which is the most we are most familiar with is the physical. That's why we know very clearly, if the physical is not settled, all the rest above, forget about it. Because you don't. This is more and more subtle up there. Okay. And one thing I like to share with you too. The reason why I use the HRV base, the stress, the base measurement, you know, like in the Garmin Vivo 3, you know, the stress level, is because it linked to cardio, and the cardio, it linked to breathing, it linked to everything up here. So with that stress level, you know, we don't want to talk about 100% accurate, those kind of stuff. We're just talking about if there is any reaction here, we can see it. Okay, so if we relax here, this will be on the top here, will be influenced indirectly. So directly, when you handle the physical, indirectly you will handle this, you know, go up, and you can measure it. That's why I use the HRV based stuff. Okay, not brainwave. Brainwave measurement is not that. How do you say that? It's not that reliable unless you are in professional. You know, for usual wearable, you know, you wear differently, you calibrate differently. But for the HRV, it is pretty mature technology. That's why it's pretty reliable. Okay, so that's why when I do this, when I wrote this article on data-driven meditations. No, it is the HRV type. I put them there. Okay. Now, after we go through this three things, the ordinary human being like you and me, the Chinese, thousands of years of experience, which is more effective, and how to handle the process, everything details, and then the science. If we don't go this physical, mind, breathing, energy, neural, going this way in sequence, and know exactly this 4 core elements or the 4 layers, and be able to handle each of them, okay, starting with the physical, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's why I call it data-driven meditations, not wishful thinking meditation, because you cannot have a wishful thinking here. For like the Chinese, for 1,500 years, they know what the heck's going on. And as a human, okay, we know that, oh yeah, what the Chinese found out is actually making sense. Also in modern science, it's making sense, it converge. So if we do not follow something which is converge, and then we can take data, quantize the thing, and make it a measurable type of data-driven meditation, what are we going to do? How are we going to get result? How are we going to get repeatable result? How is it we're going to call it scientific? Okay, so this is the reason why the 4 layer models It's the truth. People violate that, you know it's not going to likely to get a stable result or repeatable result. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter even if Buddha is here today, or it doesn't matter that I'm Asian, you are Westerner, or we from which part of the world. It doesn't matter. What it matters is as soon as this is human, it's going to go that way. Since 1,000 years ago, it is that way. Common sense, okay? Unless if somebody is from Mars or Venus, then well, I don't know, okay? So this is the about this 4-layer model I like to tell you. Now, the second thing is about this mindfulness. Why I say that mindfulness is in incomplete descriptions. Okay, so mindfulness. Why do I say it is incomplete? Okay, now let's look at the definition, the common general definitions of the mindfulness. Okay, the definition is paying attention on purpose without judgment. Okay, paying attention on purpose without judgment. It's called mindfulness. You know what is that? If I map it with what do you call it? The calmness awareness map. Let's map it. Okay. I want to leave this here. Okay. So this is calmness. This is awareness. 1, 2. Say this 1. This is 2. Just make it simple human world. Okay, 1, 2, not going to samadhi or anything. Okay. Now we know that this is calmness meditation. Okay. Well, since mindfulness, people say that it's based on Buddhism, Buddha's teaching, then let's go get down to it. This is called calmness meditations, okay, to increase your calmness or samatha. And then because you have this calmness, because we are human, we have the awareness. Okay, so with the level 2 of calmness, you get, say, level 2 of awareness. And in Buddhism, there's a practice called vipassana, or the insight meditation, which is based on this calmness and this awareness. They do investigations or the observations. Okay. Now, paying attention on purpose without judgment is exactly this. Describe that. At this point, you're paying attention on purpose. Either you want to go outward to investigate or some science or something, or go inward to investigate on yourself. Okay, that's paying attention on purpose without judgment. That's what it is here. That is vipassana. Okay? Now, this is a problem. Vipassana is a function of calmness, which is a samatha, the level of samatha, or level of the calmness. Okay? So, if I keep just telling you, okay, So awareness, this is 1, this is 2, this is -1, this is -2. Okay? Now, again, mindfulness is paying attention on purpose without judgment. Okay, so we know that if you in the samatha is you develop the calmness so that you have your awareness, and then over here this vipassana we practice paying attention on purpose without judgment. Okay, now if you're so vipassana or the mindfulness is a functions of the level of calmness. Okay, this is a calmness here. Well, this is just describe what to do with the vipassana. What it doesn't describe, it doesn't tell you is this. What it doesn't tell you is that, so is it here you practice your mindfulness, or here you practice your mindfulness, or here you practice your mindfulness, or here you practice your mindfulness? Well, over here you have calmness 2, awareness of 2, you practice your mindfulness, you get this result. From here you have a calmness of 1, you practice the awareness of 1, you practice mindfulness, you are not going to get the result of this guy. Okay, now at here you have -1, and you have a -1 awareness. It's like when you already have a digestion problem that you don't feel good, you practice mindfulness here, you get this result. Will you get the mindfulness at that time? Just ask the question. Over here is like when you already really feel really exhausted and really the body is out of control in chaos. You say, well, over here I want to practice paying attention on purpose without judgment. What the heck are you talking about? Can you do that in your body? Are they the same? So if you say, well, go and practice mindfulness, I said, tell me what is your calmness? This is the thing. If you want to go to a research lab, then you got to tell the scientists on, because mindfulness is based on calmness. Then you want to say, okay, if I have calmness, I get this result. If I have this calmness 1, I have this result. This calmness 2, I get this result. Calmness 3, I get this result. Calmness 4, I get this result. Otherwise, you are not specified what the heck is going on. So what do you want? What result do you want? Your result here, result here, result here, result here. And how can you get your result? Okay, if this is a function of C, this is the mindfulness. How can you get a result when we do not know what is the variable? Just do it scientifically in mathematics, engineering, okay? So that is the reason why I said mindfulness. Whoever coined this name has to be careful that. Otherwise, everybody says mindfulness. Like today, people say, well, when you have sex, you want to be mindfulness there too. What the heck are you talking about? Is that still vipassana? Or when you get into here, you say, well, how to mindful? Mindful for what? So that mindfulness term has to be upgrade to another version. See, I do not want to say anybody is wrong. I say it's good that you bring out the mindfulness words to this or term to this world. Okay, this Buddhist teaching and so forth. But time to complete that thing. Okay, so that it's defined clearly. Otherwise, you have millions of people go running around. And if I am artificial intelligence, if I am a machine learning algorithm, I'll ask you specifically, what the heck are you talking about? Well, I see all this data. What is this conditions? I'll ask you that if I'm an AI. artificial intelligence. But if you cannot explain that to me, which is the artificial intelligence algorithm, then I'll say, what are you guys human doing in something called meditations or mindfulness meditations? Okay, so that's the second thing I would like to talk about today. I'd like to share with you today. The third thing is this. So how to develop calmness? Because we know just now that from the calmness awareness map. No, just don't talk about meditations in the samadhi consciousness. Let's talk about like a human being, like an ordinary human being. Okay. So, say we are here. This is the insight meditation. So how are we develop this? How are we develop this? Develop our calmness so that we can go further. Well, 2 days ago or yesterday, I released this article. So in it, that is the handling of the physical layer or the physical element meditation there in the article. That's how you develop calmness. You base on the H handling of the human operating system, meaning aware, balance, and you leave it alone. Okay. So the thing is like this. So you're aware, okay, this is the process, the handling process, 3 processes needed to develop the calmness. First you have to aware, and then you have to balance it, and then you have to leave it alone. Okay, so that's how one develop calmness. Okay, so if you, it's like this. Okay, over here C mean calmness and A mean awareness. So you have C0, A1, and then you go to adjust it, and then you leave it alone. At that time you already arrive at calmness 1. Okay, and then because of calmness 1, you have awareness 2 right now. Okay, you have awareness 2, and then you do the same process step again. Then you get into the calmness 2, you get the awareness 3, and you're keeping going down. Okay, so that's how you move your calmness from here. Okay, that's why, say over here, this is the physical layer. Yeah, you see, this is the physical layer. You want to start from the physical layer, you develop the calmness, and then it step by step you go through the 4 layer models, or the 4 core elements of the models. That's how it is. It's straightforward. Okay, so if we don't do that, jumping around from this layer to this core elements to the other core elements, we have no idea. There's 4 core elements. We jump around, we do not know how to handle the intensity. So like this. So this is 4 layer: physical, mind, breathing, energy, neural. Okay, if we jump around this thing, whatever we like, we do not know what is the content inside here, the details of handling, the intensity of handling. How are we going to supposed to get anything out from the meditations? You can't. It's not scientific, it's not logical. And that just shows us that we do not know the cause and effect of how to make things happen. Now, just if we don't want to use the term scientific, like the Buddha talk about cause and effect, okay? If we don't even know the cause and effect, the basic like this, how are we going to make meditation work? And sure, listen to a song or lullaby, fall into the sleep. I don't need to know all this. That's why those things are not meditation, are entertainment. So today this is to share with you, and I hope that you can see how I look at this. Don't take me as knowing all the truth. Dig in, investigate it, and even better, if some scientists see this in the laboratory, look into this. See what I present makes sense or not. Don't have to be very advanced, just common sense.